You already know what to do. That's why it hurts. Ignorance is easy to forgive. Avoidance is harder to explain. You don't need another book. You don't need another video. You don't need another Monday. You need to answer one dangerous question. What are you afraid will happen if you finally begin?
Because deep down, you know the work you need to start, the habit you need to build, the truth you need to say, the person you need to stop becoming. But you wait, you plan, you clean your desk, you open a new tab, you tell yourself, I'm almost ready.
Most people think procrastination is laziness, but you rest and still feel heavy. You get motivated at night and disappear in the morning. So maybe the problem is not your time. Maybe the problem is the emotional cost of starting. Because starting means the fantasy dies. The fantasy that you are secretly brilliant, secretly disciplined, secretly ready, secretly one perfect week away from becoming unstoppable. But you hesitate.
Potential is comfortable. Potential cannot fail. Potential cannot be criticized. Potential cannot look stupid. Potential lets you feel special without asking for evidence. But action is different. The first video exposes your awkward voice. The first workout exposes your weak body. The first honest conversation exposes what you can no longer hide. That is why you delay. Not because you don't care, because you care so much. The beginning feels like risking your identity.
The real villain is not the task. The real villain is the perfect self in your head. The version of you who starts confidently, works deeply, never fails, never looks foolish, never needs help, never begins small. You love that version. But that version is imaginary. Every time the real you tries to begin, the fantasy whispers, not like that. Not yet. Not until it's impressive. So you protect the fantasy by abandoning the real life. And slowly, your future becomes a museum. Things you almost did.
Here is the uncomfortable truth. Avoidance gives you something. It gives you relief. Relief from judgment. Relief from uncertainty. Relief from feedback. Relief from finding out that you are not as ready as you hoped. And relief is addictive. But relief is not freedom. Relief is a loan. And avoidance always charges interest. One delayed day becomes one delayed week. One delayed week becomes one delayed year. Then, one day, you don't just have unfinished tasks. You have an unfinished self.
So stop trying to become fearless. Fearless is too far. Become willing. Willing to start ugly. Willing to be seen learning. Willing to make the first version bad. Willing to disappoint the fantasy. Willing to be a beginner in public. Willing to do the thing before your ego approves. Because the first version is not supposed to be impressive. It is supposed to exist. You can edit a bad page. You can improve a bad video. You can strengthen a weak body. You can repair an awkward conversation. But you cannot improve what you never allowed to be born.
The small action. Don't change your whole life today. That is how fear wins. Make the action too small for fear to argue with. Don't write the book. Open the document. Don't get fit. Put on the shoes. Don't build the business. Send one message. Don't fix the relationship. Tell one honest sentence. Don't become a new person. Prove for 2 minutes that the old pattern no longer owns you. Because action is not just how you create results. Action is how you rebuild self-trust. Every small act says, I keep promises to myself now.
You already know what to do. And maybe that knowledge is not here to shame you. Maybe it is here to call you. The gap between who you are and who you say you want to become
is not closed by thinking. It is closed by one honest action. So today, don't become great. Begin. Badly, quietly, imperfectly, honestly. Because your future self is not built by what you know. Your future self is built by what you finally do.